What up? It's Billy Paradise, trying to grow my own paradise here in north central West Virginia. Got these peaches that I planted from that tree, Bella, Georgia, I got from Walmart about 4 years ago. Doing well. Last year did very well. I must have gotten at least maybe between 30 to 50 peaches maybe off of that tree right there on a year 3, and they were amazingly good. White peaches are awesome. And these are some seeds that I planted. I've got about 5 in total of the seedlings. I'm gonna let them grow, and eventually I'm gonna plant them out into the wild and do some guerrilla gardening with those peaches. Blue Adirondack potatoes have popped. It is currently April, oh shoot, what's today? April 25th. These were planted shortly after St. Patty's Day. I was about 2 to 3 days late on planting them. Got a few of them. Not a big patch, you know, just something cool. Kids love digging them up and eating purple mashed potatoes. Denver half-long carrots here. My toddler, my youngest, planted these. He got short arms, so he wasn't able to get his seeds all the way out here. So they are bunched up here. So while they were still really small, I dug up underneath them, I scooped them up, and I transplanted them like here, here, and here. And then I got some black Nebula carrots back here. They're very sparse. Didn't have a very good germination rate on them, but I collected the seeds off of a year 1 carrot. That might have had something to do with it. Last year I ordered seeds from Dave's Garden Seeds, something like that, and slugs came and ate damn near all of them, all the sprouts, and so I used slug repellent this year, and it works well. Well, anyways, with the black Nebula carrots, I only got maybe 5 carrots out of 200 seeds. Almost all of them germinated, but the slugs ate up all the sprouts. And one of the carrots went to seed that year, the same year it was planted. And carrots are biennial, meaning that they'll be planted by seed this spring, and they'll last through the winter. They'll last all winter long. You can go out in your garden during the winter time and pull up carrots. But if you leave them in the dirt, the following year, when the ground warms back up, they'll send off shoots that send off flowers, and that's how you get your carrot seed. And they're really cool. Bees love them. Huge flower sets. They get thousands and thousands of seeds, so you'll never have to buy carrot seeds again. And that's what I did. I basically kept seed saved off of my Denver half-longs and seed saved off the black Nebula that I grew, and black Nebula's germination rate wasn't that great, but I think it's because, like I said, it was seeded in the first year of life. Here's some blueberries, Blue Ray, Patriot, I think, black raspberries, purple jewel berries, purple royalty, whatever. I bought these from Walmart. In case you didn't know, you can generally get food plants, like edible plants like strawberry roots, dandelion, or not dandelion, but blueberry, raspberry, you know, your fruit trees. You can buy that stuff on EBT, in case you didn't know that. Thanks, Obama. Anyways, not to get political or anything like that, because, you know, that ain't what this is about. I'll just say he's the one who passed that, and that's a pretty cool thing. Alright, but anyways, so I got these, and I left them out on the porch, and it was still snowing out. It was still winter time, you know, and everything died, basically. You would think they all died, but the roots didn't freeze. So after planting them and watering them in well, stalks were still green, everything was still pliable, and then the leaves came back. Same thing with the raspberries. They were dead stalks, but the roots didn't freeze. I planted them anyways, and they send off little shoots here. I haven't checked around all of these here to see if they've set off shoots, but this one right here I have, and that's why I started making this video, was to let you know that if you bought a raspberry bush from Walmart and you left it outside and it froze, fret not, because if you plant it, I don't know if you can see that little bit of green there and that little bit of green here. the base of this stalk. It's coming back to life. So you gotta let the plant just have a chance, you know. If you treat it well, it might come back for you. Alright, but anyway, that's pretty much all I got going on here right now. We got a lot of peppers, tomatoes, and a couple figs in the house ready to come out. Planted about 30 sugar snap peas that I seed saved from last year's crop. Only 9 of them came up. So I don't know what happened to the seeds. If ants got in there and ate them while they were in the dirt, that happens, or it was just poor germination. Couldn't tell you. Got more black Nebula carrots planted over here. Trying to spread them out, because that's, you know, the way you want to do it with certain carrots, especially if you're trying to seed save. You don't want to plant all your crop in one spot, because it might do better in another spot, you know, and then you get better seeds. Thyme that I propagated off of this thyme. Figured I would use this old chimney that I dug up out of my compost pile. Dug it up, threw it in the garden, made it into a raised bed, putting herbs and flowers in there, that kind of cool stuff. Wild edible violets. These make great jelly. Got that red wheat going on. Planted that last fall. It stays green throughout the entire winter, even when it's snowing. And then as soon as spring rolls back, man, that grass, it starts to shoot up, and it'll start to look more like the familiar wheat that we all know and love, right? Who doesn't like bread? That's pretty much it. Strawberries. I planted two strawberry plants about 3 years ago. I had them in a center block, and I kept moving them around, and they didn't do well. Well, last year I put them in here, and they still didn't do that great as far as producing fruits. But one of them, the All-Star I think it was, yeah, set off a bunch of runners. So I was like, all right, we're gonna let these runners just settle in here. Got about 7 of them, I think. And if I leave them undisturbed, hopefully they'll do better than the previous 2 years that I've grown strawberries. Little tiny fruits sometimes you get a good one, but then, you know, it's like so few of the plump big ones, you know, that, you know, it's like 1 or 2 every other day ripen up. Which I ain't complaining, they taste amazing. Alright, and a couple more plants for y'all, just to let you know what I got going on. Got my garlic planted out here by my compost pile. I was just messing around, trying to grow some garlic. I put it in a semi-shady spot. Got wild ramps growing here. Wineberries that I propagated. Just planted them out by my compost pile. This is the year 2 goji berry. Bought this in 2020. Berries are a profitable crop, going for quite a lot of money per pound. I think it's something crazy like 40 bucks a pound of goji berries. There's the other 2 peach seeds there. This is chamomile that has lasted through the winter. I don't think it's true like German chamomile, but it smells like fresh apples. And it's great, it's awesome. Blueberries from the old lady's parents' property. The old family homestead there. Pulled those out, brought them home with me because there were so many of them, but nobody was picking the blueberries. And over here we have lavender. We got lavender. And then we got this chocolate mint here that I propagated from another part of the neighbor's yard. Look at all that. This stuff spreads like wildfire. Look, here, comes out to here, out to here. This is chocolate mint. Just growing like wildfire. It's just spreading out. It's cool though, because when you hit it with a mower, it smells awesome. Alright, and the final plants that I have out in the yard. Nothing really out in the front yet. is peonies coming in, roses. Hawthorn tree. Dog decided to chew it up whenever it was little. As you can see, chewed it up right there. And now it's split off, and it split into more, but I cut off the other suckers there. I'm gonna have to cut this one off too, but hawthorn supposedly produces edible fruits that are medicinal. Let's see here. Pardon me for a moment while I check on something. Okay, we good. This is the kind of fertilizer I use, just Stay Green general purpose fertilizer. Dilute it down. This is Quinault Strawberry. This was one of the other ones that I had growing in that center block. Didn't really do so hot last year. It put on a few good fruits, and it was like every other day for maybe like a month and a half that it was producing strawberries. But yeah, it didn't do so hot. But it's just been sitting in that pot all winter. We'll see what it does. And pardon the mess. This is where the kid plays with his shovel and stuff. We had this raspberry bush that I also bought from Walmart, and this was bought maybe 3, maybe 4 years ago. I planted it up there next to a rose bush that I got planted, and it died. Didn't do anything for a whole year. The next year, I think it came back that year. It could have been the following year. It was really weird. Like, I was like, wow, like, talk about random. This raspberry just decided to start growing for me. So I moved it over here. And as you can see, it does really well. It is a heritage raspberry. It is everbearing, which means that you don't have to keep flora canes or sugar canes. It puts on all its fruit on its first year of growth. Basically, it'll send up shoots, it'll flower, it'll give you raspberries in the same year. And really delicious ones, might I add. And now that it's on its second year here, and it's done really well, or it could be its third year, I forget. It's doing really well, and it's spreading out. There was another one that shot up here, but I moved it out to the garden where I have the sugar snap peas planted. And this right here is kind of like my crown jewel right now. This one I love so much. So excited that I got it. It is a Shinko Asian pear, and it is putting on the flowers. It's coming out of dormancy really nicely, putting on all kinds of leaves. The foliage looks cool. It's just a soft looking tree, you know. I mean, it's beautiful. Look at that cluster of flowers there. Hopefully it produces. Asian pears, if you never had one, they go for about $1.25 a piece, and they are worth it. They are worth it. Some of them come out the size of like softballs, and it's basically like a whole meal, you know, like just one apple, just like feed you, and you know, it's pretty badass. More roses. Dogwood, I think, maybe. I'm not entirely sure what this is. This was just a tree that got sent to us through the Arbor Day Foundation. And finally, the year 4 peach is putting on the buds. Putting on the little peaches. Now I covered it up because it came out with the buds, and then the cold weather wasn't done, and we're still not done with the cold weather, so there's still a bit of leeriness within me about if I'm actually going to get peaches this year. So nice. But anyways, so I covered it. Hello, ladybug. What's up with you? Anyways, I covered it up with tarp, and I guess this side that gets the most sun, because the sun rises over here, lands on this side of the peach tree, and all the blossoms were saved. But then on the back side, pretty much everything fell off aside from maybe five blossoms, you know, that stuck around, that made it through the cold. But anyways, this is Bella, Georgia. Got it from Walmart as well. It's on its 4th year. It's had some issues. That's just where it was grafted right here. It gets ants like crazy, and if you saw my video from last year, I should have done an update video when the fruits came, because I'll tell you what, man, those fruits were amazing. I picked one up off the ground, thought it wasn't going to be ready. I bit into it, and it was the sweetest, softest peach I ever had. It was a white kind of peach, which are notoriously sweeter than yellow peaches. But yeah, Bella, Georgia from Walmart. If you see one, get one. They do really well. You probably won't get any fruits for maybe 3 years. But once you start getting fruits, man, you'll be so happy you have that. And it's a great shade tree. The dog loves it. Once it gets all its foliage out and it gets nice and full, you know, you catch the dog out here taking naps by the tree. Got spearmint growing here. I planted this last year just kind of as a ground cover. I figured why not, right? I think it's a nitrogen fixer. So I just let it do its thing instead of having grass grow in here and having to pull grass. I'd much rather just have mint. But you can't eat it because the dog pees on it. All right, y'all. Well, that's it. A lot growing on in a little space.